Jai Shri Ram. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Ram, Lord Sri Jagannath, we will continue the story of Ramayan Part 3 War. Chapter 1 The Army Sets Off. If you are not watched the previous chapter of Ramayana, you may go to the playlist or click on the I button on the top so that you can connect the story of Ramayana from the beginning till to this chapter. The chapter 1 it is starting like this. Hanuman sailed across the firmament, feeling overjoyed at his success. He would soon see Sugriva and Lord Sri Ram and give them the good news that Sita had been found. Leaving Lanka in a state of confusion, he moved with the speed of a wind. No Rakshasas gave chase, as they were all engaged in trying to save their afflicted city. Out of fear of Ravana, the fire god had not burned his palace. The Rakshasa king fumed as he gazed out at his blazing city. He should have killed the monkey when he had the chance. Without doubt, Rama and his troops would soon arrive in Lanka, and there would be a great battle. Ravana thought of his boom from Brahma. The demon had no immunity from humans. Would this human king Ram be the cause of his death? Was he Vishnu incarnate? He would need to be. Most Ravana. Let the fight go ahead. We will soon see Ram's power. Ravana would not cower before anyone. Death would be preferable indeed. Death at Vishnu's hands was no shame. Some even said that such a death awarded one the highest regions of bliss, but under no condition would he surrender Sita. Ram would have to take her by force or not at all. The demon stood lost in reverie. Hanuman sped through the sky like an arrow loosed from a mighty bow. Within an hour, he again saw Mount Mahendra looming large in the distance. The monkey roared again and again, filling the sky with the thunder of his voice. Angada and the other heard in roar and stood on the seashore gazing up at the sky, reliving to realize that Hanuman's roar indicated success. Overpowered by happiness, they leapt and sprang about on the beach, shouting with joy. Within a few minutes, they saw Hanuman bursting through the cloud, appearing like a Garuda in full flight. The Banaras stood with joined palms in respect and appreciation of their compatriot as he descended upon the Mahendra mountain, which shook with the force of his landing. Hanuman quickly descended from the mountain and again assuming his own normal size, ran towards his friends. The monkeys surrounded him, raising cries of joy. They offered Hanuman roots and fruits and laughingly embraced him with tearful eyes. Taking Angad by the hand, Hanuman sat down in a wooded group near the beach to tell him everything that had happened. I have seen the godly Sita. She sits pinning for her lord, surrounded by fierce Rakshas and constantly harassed by Ravana. We should lose no time in rescuing the princess. Hearing of Hanuman's success, the monkeys sent up great shouts. Some roared like lions and others bellowed like bulls. Some raised ululations while dancing around and waving their long curly tails. In the midst of the foremost monkeys, Angada said to Hanuman, "Your feat is without compare. You have saved our life and render a great service to Lord Sri Ram, who will soon be freed of his grief. What marvelous determination and valor you have displayed, dear Hanuman. Angada and Hanuman sat in circled by powerful Vanaras. Even as Indra and Surya are surrounded by the other gods. As Angada questioned him, Hanuman described in detail all the events that had occurred since he left. The monkeys were delighted to hear how he had killed so many powerful Rakshasas and wrought havoc in Lanka, but they were horrified to learn of Ravana's terrified threat to Sita. Angada decided that immediately action was required. How can we report to Ram that Sita lies in such a sorry state? We must recover her from Lanka. Here our monkeys are as powerful as the god. We shall all of us proceed swiftly to Lanka. Let us destroy the city, kill the evil Ravana and rescue Sita. Then we can return to Sugriva and Ram. Jambuban did not agree with Angad. Your suggestion is not wise, O mighty king. We are not enjoyed to kill Ravana or bring back Sita. We have been asked only to locate her and report to Ram of her whereabouts. That prince has vowed to rescue her himself. Even if we should somehow succeed without Ram, we should falsify his bow. The monkeys accepted Jabaman's advice. The old king of the bears was always wise and he considered everything carefully. He was right. It was better to report back to Kiskinda. Then they could go to Lanka united with all the other monkeys headed by Ram and Lakshmana. There would be plenty of opportunities for fighting at that time. The monkeys got up and immediately set out towards Kiskinda with Hanumana at their head. They bounded back as fast as they could. Within a few days, they reached the Madhuvan forest, which lay not far from Kiskinda. The forest was extensive and filled with trees loaded with fruits and honeycombs. The monkeys took Angada's permissions to drink the honey which was actually meant for Sugriva, and they consumed it in large quantities. They became intoxicated and danced merrily here and there. Some of them sang loudly, while others laughed hysterically. Some learned Some leaned unsteadily upon one another and still others lay flat on the ground. They rolled about and slapped their sides, rolling the beeswax into balls. They platted one another in sport. They ripped down a bush from the tree and whirled them around in the mock fights. Leaped from the tree to tree, they raised a great tumult in the forest. The Madhuban forest was guarded by a Banaras general named Dandimukha. When he saw the thousands of monkeys were tearing down the tree and taking the honey, he becomes infuriated. He dispatched a number of his guards to stop them, accosted by the guards. The monkeys in anger, the parties laughed and fought with them. They took hold of the guards by their legs and dragged them about. They tossed into the air and slapped around with their palms. When even Dandimukha himself was beaten by Angada. He decided to go and inform Sugriva of the situation. Dandimukha told the monkey kings how Angada and Hanuman, along with thousands of other monkeys, we are waking the king's personal orchard and stealing his honey. However, upon hearing this report, the intelligent Sugriva becomes joyful. He turned and spoke to Lakshmana, who was by his side. There can be no doubt that Angada party has returned successful. Oh, noble Lakshman! My guess is that Hanumana has found Sita. These monkeys would not make so bold with my group and its honey had they failed in their mission. Lakshmana rejoiced and ran to tell Ram the news. Sugriva told Dandimukha that he should tolerate the misbehavior of the such party and send the monkeys into Kiskinda. Dandimukha bowed to Sugriva and left at once, realizing that Hanuman had accomplished a great service to king. He felt gladdened. As he raced back to the Madhuban with Sugriva's message, he forgot about all about the beating he had received. Back in the orchard, he saw all the monkeys who by now had become sober, standing about or urinating on the trees. He shout out Angad and bowed before him. Please forgive me, O Prince. I should not have tried to restrain you. Sugriva very much desire to see you and Hanuman. Please go there with all speed. Angada spoke kindly to Dundamukha. Then he raised his arms and shouted to the other monkey, all right, let us now go to Kiskinda. Sugriva and are expecting us. Sugriva awaited their arrival eagerly. He was sure that they had succeeded. It had been almost 3 months since their departure. There was no possibility that Angada would have returned if he had failed. The monkey's king reassured Ram, who was experiencing deep anxiety over Sita. Ram looked up with tears strained eyes at Sugriva. This was their last chance. All the other parties had returned without success. What if Angada group had also failed? Ram sat by Sugriva anxiously waiting Angada's news. So suddenly they heard a screech in the distance and saw a cloud of dust rising upwards as Angad and his party rushed towards Kiskinda. Sugriva stretched and curled his tail in joy. He saw Angad and Hanuman at the head of the party bounding swiftly towards him. They appeared like thundering cloud driven along by the wind. Within a few minutes they had arrived and were prostrating themselves before Sugriva and Ram. Hanuman sat before Ram with folded palms. My lord, Sita has been found, he said. Tearing sprang to Ram's eyes. He jumped up and said eagerly, tell me everything about that godly lady. Oh, gallant one, is she well? Where is she? Where indeed is that wicked wretched Ravan? With Angada's permission, Hanuman related everything to Ram and Sugriva, describing in detail how he had jumped across the ocean and wrought havoc in Lanka. He told them how Sita was pinning from for Ram and would not even look at Ravana. He then gave Sita's message to Ram along with her ornaments. Ram took Sita's yellow jewels from Hanuman. He pressed it to his blossom and wept swiftly. Comforted by Lakshmana, he said, even as a cow sheds milk upon seeing its calf, so my heart melted upon seeing these jewels. It originally belonged to Indra and was given to Sita by King Janaka. By seeing these brilliant gems, I have directed again sight of my noble father-in-law as well as my beloved wife Sita. Rama asked Hanuman to repeat Sita's speech again and again. He was pained to learn of her sorry plight and felt her words to be his only consolation. The monkey narrated to Ram his entire conversation with Sita. When he stopped speaking, Ram sat silently for some time, absorbed in thoughts of Sita. At last, he said to Hanuman, "You have accomplished a great deed, dear Hanuman. None but Garuda or the wind god himself could have achieved this feat. Who could leap across the expansive ocean, who having once entered Lanka as an enemy, could ever hope to emerge alive? You are the first class servant, oh monkey. You have achieved all that was asked of you and more." Praising Hanuman in various ways, Ram lamented that he could not repay the monkeys for the service he had surrendered. All he could offer him was his embrace. Oh Hanuman, that is all I can call my own at this time, Ram said, he as he took hold of Hanuman and tightly hugged him. Ram then began to consider how to recover Sita. How could he and millions of monkeys cross the ocean? He again felt despondent and asked Sugriva if he had any idea. The monkeys replied, "In my opinion, a bridge should be constructed across the ocean. There is no need to lament. We now knows Sita's whereabouts and we have amassed that an army that is more than capable of annihilating the demons. I am confident, for I perceive my many good omens and my mind feels delighted." After hearing Sugriva speak, Ram became determined. He said to the monkeys, "I am surely able to cross this sea, either by the mystic power I have acquired through asceticism, by throwing a bridge over it, or by drying it up with my fiery arrows. O Hanuman, tell us of Lanka's fortification and defense, for we shall soon arrive there for a battle." Hanuman described everything he had seen in Lanka. The city was atop a great mountain thing, thickly covered with forest. At the edge of the city was a wide moat infested with alligators. All around Lanka were vast ramparts with steel barred drawbridges and gates. Hordes of Rakshasa prowled about the ramparts, holding spikes, clubs, which could kill 100 warriors with a single blow. Great catapults were lined along the defensive walls, as well as machines which could fire blazing iron darts to a distance of 10 miles. Ravana's force were all but unlimited in number. They were highly trained and could use every kind of weapon, and they remained constantly alert to any danger. They had already had enough time to repair the damage caused by Hanuman and would now be especially vigilant, expecting Ram's attack. When Hanuman finished speaking, Ram said fearlessly, "Without delay, I shall destroy this great city of Lanka. Let us immediately prepare to depart. It is the auspicious midday hour. Favorable constellations augur our success. Having abducted Sita, the despicable Ravana shall not escape with his life." Sugriva warmly appalled Ram, who then began issuing orders. He asked Sugriva's commander of a troop, Nila, to lead an advance party out of Kiskinda. They should prepare the way for the whole army, ensuring that no hostile troops lay in ambush. Only the most powerful monkey should go, as a difficult task lay ahead. Ram personally named the best monkeys warrior Gaja, Kavaya, Gandhamardana, Rishabha, Divida, Menda, and other. Then he said, mounting the Hanuman's back, "I myself shall go, even as Indra ride upon his elephant Airavat. I shall march in the center of the army, cheering the troops as they rush like a flood. Lakshmana should mount Angada's back as Kuvera would ride upon the elephant Sarvabhuma, who guards the eastern quarter of the universe." Sugriva bowed to Ram and then gave detailed instruction to his monkeys. Gradually, the many millions of powerful monkeys moved up in a southerly direction, springing and bounding in joy. They proceed swiftly like masses of cloud driven by a gale. They roared and shouted their determination. "We will slaughtered Ravana and the Rakshasas, not one shall survive." The monkeys sportingly swept and tossed each other around. They leaped off trees and hills and jumped upon one another's backs as they pressed forward. The road like the tumultuous ocean. At the rear of monkeys came Jambavana and his contingent of bears. In the midst of them all were Ram and Lakshmana, seated upon the back of Hanuman and Angada. They looked like the sun and moon conjoined with Jupiter and Venus and surrounded by innumerable stars. Lakshmana spoke to his elder brother, "The omens are all good. Ram, gently breeze follows us, and the sun shine brightly. The beasts and birds run and fly along with us. This army of a monkey and bears are roaring in joy, and they are ablaze with splendor. In the night skies, I have observed numerous asperious portents. Undoubtedly, your success is imminent, dear brother." Ram smiled as he rocked about on the back of Hanuman, who was racing ahead with swift steps. The vast party raced, and numerous dust cloud which screened the sky. They were like a continuous line of clouds covering the heavens. When they crossed the river, the current flooded backwards for many miles. Bounding through lakes, they caused them to overflow and flood the surrounding land. They broke down trees and smashed rocks, hotly vaunting their powers to one another, traveling by day and night. Day and by night, they quickly approached the southern shore of the sea. When they reached the ocean, Ram spoke to Sugriva, "Here lies the vast sea, O violent monkey. This lord of the river cannot be crossed easily. Some device is required. Let us camp here and deliberate upon our next course of action." When the army came down onto the beach, it stretched for miles like an second ocean. In it creates a noise that drawn out the roar of the sea as the monkeys discussed how to reach Lanka. Now, none was capable of emulating Hanuman's incredible leap. The Banaras and the viewers stared out at the two touching waves, waving, wondering what Ram and Sugriva would decide to do next. So this is how the joy happened after Hanuman find Sita in um, in Lanka and inform to Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Rama and Sugriva, and how the army set off in the southern bank of the ocean. Hope you got some information about from this chapter. The chapter one, the army sets off. If you got some information about Ramayana, you may like, comment, and share this content. And don't forget to subscribe this channel. Jai Jagannath, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna.